Redmi sent me their all new Redmi Note 12 a week ago, and since then, I have had some in depth experience with this device, and I'm glad to tell you that I'm fully prepared to share my detailed review with all of you. If you are new to my channel, consider hitting the subscribe button, and if you like this video at some point, do hit the like button as well. Okay, so let's begin with the design of this phone first. Redmi Note 12 is a slim, sleek, and smart smartphone. It's super lightweight, fully built out of premium plastic which feels like glass at times, and no camera cutouts bulging out of the body. The flat back and flat edges add to the grip of this phone. The huge dual camera system at the back alongside a small LED flash and in-depth camera quickly grabs the attention. The frame of this phone is also plastic. You can find a headphone jack on the top sitting next to an IR blaster and a USB-C port on the bottom, while the buttons are on the right side, and a dual SIM card slot on the left. The SIM card slot also supports a micro SD card. It's an IP53 protected phone, which means it is resistant to water splashes and dust. If I have to mention the biggest highlight of this phone, that has to be its display. This is where Redmi have done an incredible job. To start off, this is a 6.67 inches display. It's not a simple LCD screen but AMOLED. The brightness boosts all the way up to 1200 nits and the refresh rate is 120 Hz. Now for this budget, this has to be one of the smoothest and crispiest displays out there. Whether you are just browsing through the phone, scrolling up and down, watching videos or playing games, the experience is going to be top notch. And the word reminds me of that tiny punch hole that does not hinder the usability on this device. No matter what angle you view this display from, the elements on the screen are going to be very much visible, and that's actually the beauty of this AMOLED tech. Bezels on the screen are also appropriately sized in my opinion. In terms of software, this phone brings MIUI 14 on the top of Android 13 out of the box. There is nothing different or extraordinary going on here. It's just the usual MIUI 14 with all the bells and whistles. You get the inbuilt screen recorder, the floating windows, ultra battery saver dark mode, and all the usual MIUI 14 or the Android 13 features in this phone. In the additional settings, you can find the memory extension and second space features to enhance your experience further. Overall, this is a nice UI and nice software that you can customize to a good extent according to your own liking. Now the hardware on this phone is somewhat interesting as well. It brings the 6nm Snapdragon 685 chipset and a RAM of 6GB with 128GB internal storage. I ran a couple of benchmark tools on this phone and the score posted was similar to what a flagship device would post just a few years ago. The budget smartphones have become exceptionally good and the Redmi Note 12 just proves that. I'll show you guys the Antutu benchmark score which goes all the way above 300k, and this also shows you the storage benchmark score. The Geekbench score is also on your screen. I played a couple of games like Asphalt 9 and PUBG Mobile on the Redmi Note 12. Both games ran fine. The graphics were not of very high quality but still acceptable and actually decent if I keep the price of this phone in my mind. The processing power is ample for your day-to-day tasks. There is nothing really to complain about here. The phone does pick a little bit of heat, but that I think is normal for any phone running this kind of games. Speaker is just fine, not too loud and not too quiet either. It's just average. While we are talking about the performance output, let's also shed some light on the power output. This phone has a 5000 mAh battery. I used a SIM card in this phone for some days and continuously kept the Wi-Fi hotspot on. With that usage, the battery easily lasted for about 2 days. To charge it up, the 30-watt charging brick literally takes about 50 minutes to 1 hour to fully top up the monstrous battery. So, Redmi have done a pretty decent job in the battery department of this phone as well. Talking about the cameras, this phone brings a 50 megapixels AI main camera accompanied by 2 other sensors. The camera app is just like any other Redmi phone's camera app. It records videos up to 1080p at 30 frames per second and can take 50 megapixels AI photos. The portrait mode is there too. The phone has EIS and no OIS at all for the videos. I'll attach some camera samples to give you guys a basic idea, and I do plan on doing a full camera review of this phone in near future. And with that, our review approaches its end. Things I like the most about the Redmi Note 12 include its display and then the design and the build. The camera is fine, can make do with that, and performance is good enough for the day-to-day tasks. The battery is more than enough, you won't easily run out of it even if you try to max out the usage. The battery will still last for more than a day. For the price, the Redmi Note 12 is a banger. I won't hesitate from recommending this device if someone's on the hunt for a budget phone offering good specifications. Let me know what do you guys think about the Redmi Note 12. If you have any opinions or any questions, feel free to use the comment box below. Make sure to like and subscribe. With that being said, I will sign off and see you all in the next one.